So I got a request of how to get better with Kitana, and instead of just saying, go into practice mode and spend some time with her, I decided to do a video uh, just on the basics, pretty much. For me to do this video, if you're reading the text, if you need to pause it to read the text, because I had to try to cut it down as less as possible for like time constraints, so this video wouldn't be ginormous. But I had to show just about everything I possibly could with her, as far as her combos, special moves, and stuff like that. Right here is how I start off, basically, with every single match. Usually I try to do a jump back fan toss, or I do a 2-1-2. Reason for this is 9 times out of 10 I'll do a back jump fan toss, because 9 times out of 10 your opponent's only going to do probably one of 4 things. He's either going to jump at you, rush at you, block, or maybe he's going to try to pull off some type of special move on you. So doing it like a jump back fan toss works pretty well. If you do the 2-1-2, your first 2 hits will not connect, but your third one will. If you're playing against an opponent that doesn't know Kitana that well and can't count the hits of each combo, sometimes they'll unblock and you'll get that hit, and then you'll get that first hit to get your meter going. But like I said, I had to go into and show you every single combo, every single special move, because doing this, I also have some stuff that one of the great things about Kitana, though, is that you can combine combos into each other. You can combine 2 combos within each other. Then you can also combine combos with special moves a lot. A lot of characters have that. Just about every character has that. But very few characters have to where you combine combos together without having to dash in or something like that. You can play Kitana 2 different ways. You can play her as a zone player. You can play her like ultra aggressive. Usually I try to be ultra aggressive. But one of the reasons why I try to do a jump back fan toss right at the beginning of a match is, of course, if they jump into it or if they're blocking, usually I'll try to go into another couple fan tosses right away, just to try to feel out of what type of player I'm playing against. Is my opponent zone, or is he aggressive just like I would be? If he's a zone player, that might work right into Kitana's hands, just because you can be pretty much relentless with her. If you can pull off some of her combos and her special moves consistently at a fast rate, it could be pretty much endless, to the point to where your opponent can't even combo or counter it or even block anything. So basically, like, you always try to want to read your opponent within the first 10 seconds of the game. Try to throw a few fan tosses just to see what type of player he is. Is he staying put, or is he moving towards you to try to put on his own attack? One of the great things about Kitana too is utilizing her jump fan toss. This is a huge part of her game. It's also, it's considered as an anti-air. If you're playing a jumpy player who just likes to jump like a rabbit around the screen a lot, all you got to do is basically jump back and throw one of those fan tosses, and you'll pretty much throw your opponent completely off balance all the time. Because plus, when a match starts, you got to think of 3 different things. Like I said, is he a zone player? Is he aggressive? Is he a spammer? If he's a spammer, of course, you want to concentrate on your square boost. That'll send you across the other side of the screen a lot. Usually after this, you can either go into a fan toss right away, or you can go into, I usually like to go into 2-1-2, because that will Most of the time, if he's a zone player and he's basically turtling, or is he just blocking on the other side of the screen, usually if you go into the 2-1-2, it will he'll completely miss his uppercut, because that's what he's basically waiting for you to do, is to basically come across the screen and uppercut you, because that's just what they do. And the 2-1-2, where if you do that, the last hit will go right under his uppercut most of the time. But going into stuff right here, I'm basically doing combining combos and special moves. Spending a lot of time in practice mode with Kitana can do wonders for you. I mean, you could find out new things that you can combine with. Because I mean, some of her combos are somewhat weak. They can range anywhere from like 14% all the way down to, I think, like 10%, I think. So when you're playing in a match, you want to try to get max damage that you could possibly get. Just going through a few of those intermediate combos that you can do, where you can combine both of them together, and of course the special moves to get that max damage. I mean, you got to do that as much as possible, because sometimes it's difficult depending on who you're playing. Kitana's not great against all players. She's great against most, but not all of them. I mean, there's some players where you just will have a difficult time with her, and so you definitely want to get that max advantage, or max damage, as much as possible. So you have to take advantage of that. Doing her X-ray, in my opinion, the only way to do it, to ensure you get it, is doing it by the uprise. Also, to get a couple more percentage points, maybe do a punch, then uprise, then go into a jump kick, and then do her X-ray. You get 33% out of it, which is pretty nice. Another great thing about Kitana is that she has basically 4 anti-airs. I don't know if any other character has that many anti-airs, but she does have 4 of them. With her fans, her uprise, her square boost, and her pretty legs, or her pretty kick, or I guess her pretty legs is her enhanced moves. But I didn't put the enhanced moves in this video, so maybe try those out when you go into practice mode, when you're just trying out all the combos and everything like that, or trying to get down some of the combos that I showed in this video. Here's a couple of videos, one with one against Ermac, another one against Scorpion, to show that you could basically be almost as aggressive as possible with her, as long as you can pretty much pull off her combos and her special moves at a consistent rate. And just in my opinion too, you gotta try to be as fast as you possibly can. Because some of her combos, which this is a negative about Kitana, and this is basically one of her weaknesses, is that few of her combos delay. That really opens her up. There's a few of her combos that are just completely worthless, and they're not even worth doing, especially online, because it opens her up to either an easy uppercut, or there's such a delay after a combo that your opponent can start in on a combo right away. So basically, check those out. Try whatever you can, in practice mode, to see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Also, again, online, don't worry about your wins and losses. I don't know if you're wins and loss glory hound, but when you're trying out a new character and you want to try to get good with that character, don't worry about your wins and losses. If you want to get good with the character and stuff like that, you got to take your lumps. You got to find out what's good, what's not. You got to find out what combos work, what combos don't work. So, I know some people were, I'm kind of like the same way, to where I'll try a new character and I'll just get my ass kicked completely, and I'll just completely give up on that player. which that character is probably a really good character, but I just gave up on it too easily, just because I took a couple losses. But anyway, I hope this video helped. Like I said, go back, check things out, try out those combos, and I hope it helped. That'll be it. Later.